It is just hours to the elections in Kogi and Bayelsa state, and voters will take to the polling units to elect governors in the two states and a senator in Kogi West Senatorial District. In Kogi state, where there are 21 local governments, over 1.6 million voters are registered, but 1,485,000 PVCs have so far been collected by the voters. In Bayelsa state are over 923,000 registered voters, but only 889,000 voters have collected their PVCs in the 8 local governments. In Kogi state, 24 political parties are fielding governorship candidates, while in Bayelsa state, 45 political parties are sponsoring governorship candidates. INEC will be conducting a senatorial rerun election in 7 local government areas of Kogi West to fill the empty seat in the Senate after a court sacked the senator and ordered a rerun election. This is the first election in the electoral empire will be conducting since the 2019 general elections. The polls are expected to open in the 2 states at 8 a.m. in a simultaneous voting and accreditation system. Meanwhile, in Kogi state, civil society groups as well as residents say that they will be delighted to witness an election devoid of electoral violence. This, they claim, could affirm or erode the integrity of the elections as preparations thickens for the Kogi Governorship and Kogi West Senatorial District elections. Our correspondent Chris Phillips now reports.
It's a few hours to the Kogi State Governorship and Senatorial election for Kogi West, and activities are in top gear to ensure a successful process. At the INEC headquarters, materials and personnel are being deployed to their respective posts, and the resident electoral commissioner appears 100% sure of a smooth sail.
What we have here are the ballot papers for the governorship election, as well as those for the Western Senatorial District, as well as the result sheets, result forms for both elections. So that's what we're sorting out so that they can be taken to the local government areas. They've already been batched according to the wards in the respective local government areas. So that makes it very easy for us to just leave them. Though we needed to still do some checks to make sure that there's no mix-up. We're expecting that everything is going smoothly as it's gone so far, and that once they get there, by tomorrow they'll be taken to the racks, and then on Saturday from there to the polling units for us to have a very peaceful election in this.
However, civil society groups are worried about the state of security and its impact on the integrity of the exercise.
Our statement is clear that elections are not just about what happens on election day, but it's an entire process of what happens in the pre-election environment. We will be in a position tomorrow and the day after to make very concrete statements based on our findings from the election day. But we have expressed these concerns around issues of violence and arms stockpiling, as well as recruitment of thugs, and we hope that the responsible agencies would respond to them.
Similar concerns are expressed on the streets by residents who wish for a peaceful process.
My expectation for the election tomorrow is that the election should be peaceful. We should have a free and fair election.
And also we all urge the security agency to make sure the election will go in peaceful. That is all what I have to say about the election.
With over 35,000 policemen deployed and to be assisted by other sister security agencies, the Commissioner of Police in the state says residents should rest assured of their safety.
The police is on top of the situation. We have deployed our men to all the local government in the state, and if you go around, we have enough police officers on ground. We have our PMF men, we have our counter-terrorism, all the police personnel have been deployed appropriately to all the polling units, and we have our PMF personnel at a strategic location to respond to any crisis situation.
While 25 governorship candidates jostle for the #1 seat in the state, the ultimate victory will be to see the people's will prevail. From Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, Chris Phillips, Channels Television News.
Staying in Kogi state, some men today invaded a hotel in the state capital, Lokoja, where the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, and some members of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, campaign council are lodging ahead of tomorrow's governorship and Kogi West senatorial elections. It was gathered that the men, some of whom were said to be masked and dressed in police uniforms, stormed the hotel at about 12:50 p.m. and attempted to force their way into the building. They were, however, resisted by security operatives attached to the Oyo State governor, assisted by some residents in the neighborhood, resulting in a commotion. Channels Television spoke to Governor Makinde on the phone earlier, and here's what he had to say on the incident.
The fact was happened at the hotel where I am currently staying in Lokoja. But we're fine. We called the security agencies, and I think they came and engaged them, and they have dispatched right now. So we're fine. Well, we're told it was led by the staff team, but we're still trying to find out precisely, the identity of the officers and men that came. But the good thing is we're okay, we're safe. We are going about our preparations, for the election tomorrow. So we'll find out who's trying to, do this much later. I think we're preoccupied right now with the things that we have to do, to ensure that our agents, the party leadership, they're able to manage the elections on behalf of our party for tomorrow. That's what we're doing.
Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police in Kogi State, Busari Akim, has been reacting to the allegations of an attack on Governor Makinde's team in Lokoja. He told Channels Television that the claim by the Oyo State governor of an attack on his team was false. He insisted that the police merely acted on an information on the presence of some hoodlums in a hotel in the Kogi State capital.
The security agents got information that some hoodlums were hiding in an hotel. And they went there to check the information. And by the time they got there, when they discovered that the information was not truth, they have to withdraw. So nobody attacked anybody, nobody assaulted anybody. I'm not aware of any gunshot. But what we discover nowadays is that any little thing people raise alarm. When we get information as a security agent, we have to check on the information. And if the information is not truth, we withdraw. So this is what happened. Nobody was arrested, nobody was attacked.
Meanwhile, in Bayelsa State, the people are gearing up for the exercise amidst legal tussle and fear of violence. Our correspondent Dari Do reports that the activities of the police, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and other key players ahead of the polls are uptight.
It's an election many are concerned could be characterized by violence, but the mood in Yenegua today is not giving much away. A less busy street, despite the last-minute preparations by the different stakeholders in the exercise. A public holiday was declared to give residents time to get set for tomorrow's exercise, but some have made quick travel plans instead and may not be back until after the election.
I'm going back to Port Harcourt now, not because of violence or anything. It's just that I am engaged somewhere too. And I'll be back tomorrow, but it will be late. I know I will not be able to vote on this election.
Civil society organizations are also worried about the events of the past few days. They want INEC, the police, and political parties to play their roles in ensuring a violence-free and credible election.
We call on security agencies to fully investigate the incident and bring all responsible to account. Furthermore, the Situation Room is concerned that there may be likelihood of violence Enembe Brass due to activities of called groups, political talks, and militants.
On the part of the electoral umpire, all appears to be going according to plans, even as some locations in the state may pose logistic challenges.
We have done all we need to do as a commission. We've trained all our adult staff, we have posted them, we have secured services of transport owners, both buses and boats. We have brought security agencies. There is nothing left for us than to go tomorrow for the election.
With more than 800,000 permanent voter cards spread across 8 local governments and 2,243 polling units, coupled with the intrigue that has characterized the preparations for the election by the major parties, the governorship election in Bayelsa State is definitely a contest to watch. Darido, Channels Television News.
Let's join Darido, who is also already in Bayelsa State, as you heard from that report, to give us an update on what's actually happening. Dari, what more do we know about especially skirmishes and the security situation generally that residents are really scared of for tomorrow's elections in Bayelsa State? Could you tell us some more, please?
Yeah, thank you, Gimba. We are reaching you live here at the INEC headquarters at Yenegua in Bayelsa State. Pretty much a lot has happened today. We've been following all the stories. INEC already said they have all the sensitive materials out, and of course there's been a whole lot of discussion about the topography and also the terrains that they're dealing with here. INEC spoke about how they're going to get all the materials and the personnel to every location, despite the fact that it may be difficult for them. And of course the police, the top shots in the police have been speaking also about what they've been doing, and they've assured, there's been a whole lot of assurances today about what they are going to do going forward. Of course, tomorrow is going to be a very crucial day for a lot of the people of Bayelsa State. There's been some other concerns about the election from the civil society organizations. The Situation Room earlier briefed today, and they expressed concerns about violence, and that is where we are at the moment. Of course, we have a couple of hours to find out how the elections will pan out. Back to you, Gimba.
Well, thanks indeed, Dari Ido, for bringing us up to speed. We'll keep your tabs open as much as we can to get as much as we can from you as well.